Kylie, want to welcome everyone. We are here, New Voice Live, one more time on our Friday. As I said, we're live streaming from New York City. So if anybody's from abroad, welcome to our show. But we are traditionally a New Voice Live Toastmasters club here in New York City that meets at the New School. We've been in pandemic world close to a year now, and we have finally gotten to a place where we feel pretty comfortable about separating ourselves from in-person meetings to this new digital realm. And so for those of you who are members and have been with us for a while, you'll know that we've been making some changes. And those changes continue where what we're going to be doing now is taking advantage of the tools that we have, in particular, the video camera. The thing that we have to stare into now when we're on Zoom and look at everybody through the little pinholes. That's been the new medium, is the new medium for us to communicate. And so with New Voice Live, what we've decided to do is to embrace this new technology and in particular, the videos. And so as I said, we are live streaming to YouTube. We are also now going to incorporate these videos as part of our evaluations and learning. So tonight, what we're going to do in masterclass after our show is to go through last week's speaker, Davika, and her video. And we'll get to watch Davika watch herself on video. One of the most difficult things you can do is to watch yourself on video. And that's what we also ask you all to do tonight if you participate in table topics. From here on out, if you go to our YouTube channel, first of all, like and subscribe because we're now doing all those kinds of things. But when you go to our YouTube channel, you're going to see indexes for everyone's speech tonight. And we're asking you, urging you, recommending, suggesting all those things for you to go watch your video. If you truly want to get better at public speaking, if you really want to be somebody that is comfortable in front of an audience or a camera, the number one thing you can do is to go watch your video. It is not easy. I have to do it every week. And every week I go, oh my God, that's me. So that's the thing that we're embracing. I talk about this fear. We talk about this fear all the time, how difficult it is and how awkward it feels. But New Voice Live is about a club that wants to embrace that, which means that we're looking for people who want this, who want to be able to look at their flaws and go, I see things that I can fix. I want to be better. And I promise you, this is probably the most valuable skill we will all need in this life. To be able to express ourselves to people on camera, for a job, to our friends and family, whatever it is, this is how we express ourselves. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to get better. And I'm glad you guys are all here too. This is why we're in it. And we've got speeches for that very reason, which the first of which is going to be with Sabrina. As I said, she is a new school student and has just recently joined us. So let's see if we can get Sabrina on the screen for us. Sabrina, are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Welcome, Sabrina. Good to
Thank you.
see
Thank
you here
you.
at the show. You're a relatively new member of ours, but you're very accomplished already, as we've always talked about. So I'm going to give the audience a little bit of a heads up for those who are guests, just so they understand how this whole process works. And once again, for those of you who are guests, membership is free, and everyone that becomes a member can participate and do a speech. And so Sabrina is giving her icebreaker speech tonight. And that's her very first speech to our membership meant to this audience. And the very nature of an icebreaker is meant to introduce yourselves to us and tell you who you are. But it's also part of the curriculum. It's the first speech for a reason out of 10 speeches, which is the first is the icebreaker, the 10th to inspire people. So we set a high bar here. We say that by the 10th speech, you can inspire people, but it starts with this icebreaker. And before I let you get going, Sabrina, let me just ask you some questions. Any idea why they call this the icebreaker?
Because it's like any other icebreaker and like an awkward first time meeting people, like who are you? What are your fun facts? All that stuff.
Right, exactly, right? The ice. And so, what do you think that ice is? What is it that makes it so difficult and awkward?
The nervousness. And I'm talking to a bunch of strangers.
Why is that so nerve wracking?
Um, I can imagine it's nerve wracking because there's the fear of failing and the fear of messing up. And you want people to think good things of you, of course. But I understand that that's what this group is for. So
Okay, so, but why is that feeling so different? You don't, but you speak to people all the time. You have friends and family. I assume you don't feel those fears then. So, why is there no ice there, but there's ice here?
I think here it's an active performance and you're putting on this representation of who you want people to view you as. Whereas with family and friends, they already know me. So I don't need to perform in any way.
There you
That's how
go.
I see it, at least.
It's exactly right, right? The whole point of this is that when we're here to talk and practice about public speaking, by definition, what we're doing is talking to strangers. We're talking to an audience who doesn't know us. Public speaking. This isn't a class about speaking to friends and family. This is about a class of learning how to speak to people we don't know. And so the reason why this is the icebreaker and the ice is that there are, on the one hand, no expectations because they don't know you. But the very point is there's zero expectations. So you have to put on, as you said, a show. You have to give us your best impression of who you are. And so the difficulty is, oh my God, what if I don't put on a good enough act here? What if they don't buy my act? How embarrassing would that be? And so that's what the icebreaker is. That's what the ice. And what we're here to do at New Voice Live in particular is to understand that very balance between the act that we put on and ourselves, the real selves. So I talk about this all the time as the makeup. Right? We're all here to look good on camera. We all wear makeup to some degree. It may not be lipstick or it may not be mascara, but I wear nice clothes. I try to look as good as I can. We talk about how well our background looks. All those things are made up so that we look good to the audience. But outside of it, we know that's not real. There's a different me off camera. To my friends and family, I'm a different person. So this journey at Toastmasters New Voice Live is about putting on the makeup, putting up a good impression, but also revealing our true selves along the way to be vulnerable to the audience. And that's what's going to attract an audience is when we hear about your personal side and who you really are. And we go, oh my God, Sabrina's
Excuse me.
really vulnerable. Yes.
Excuse me.
Who is
You've
this?
just blasphemed so many times. I can hear you say the name Oh my God every time. I've been trying to get you in the chat, but you're refusing me every single time. It's not fair.
I'm sorry. I think we've had this discussion before. If I've offended you about that, I'm sorry. It's kind of one of those things that is a turn of phrase that people use out of course of conversation. So unfortunately, it may happen again. If it is a problem, you may not want to stick around to this particular meeting because, as I said, it is a turn of phrase to some extent. So sorry about that. I'll try not to do it,
Okay, but
but I
I'm
can't.
saying I like coming to Toastmasters, but what I'm saying is I don't want to hear that language. So
I
what I'm
I I appreciate that, but as I said, sometimes that's a turn of phrase that we all use here. So we'll try not to, but there's no guarantees. And if it unfortunately is not something you're are comfortable with, we may not be the right meeting for you.
okay, because what I'm saying is I still want to stay here, but I don't need that language.
I understand that. We'll try our best. And if we can't do our best and it doesn't work for you, we may not be the right meeting for you. So we'll try our best, but we use that as an ordinary turn of phrase here. So no guarantees.
Okay, I
Okay.
want
So,
to stay, but I had enough of you saying the same language, but
okay. Well,
I'm not
we
having
have
myself logged out
we
because you
have a meeting here. So
created
unfortunately,
every
we
time.
may not be able to keep you here as we need to get our show going on. So we may unfortunately have to.
What I'm saying is to keep me here.
Samuel, I think we may have to mute you for a moment. Okay, Sabrina. I'm sorry about that, but this is all part of. Look, this is a good point. This is worthy of a discussion here. In meeting strangers, we don't know what to expect. They don't know what to expect. And so we may say something which we do not believe is offensive, but we may give offense. And so we as an audience and a speaker have this delicate balance. This is the ice. This is the very thing that makes it so nerve-wracking is because I don't know you as a stranger, I may say something that offends you. How terrible is that? I didn't mean to. I don't know you. You don't know me. And yet I've offended you. The ability to understand that is the ice and the fear, and the ability to communicate that there was no offense meant. And this is a place of understanding. But both sides have to be open to that understanding. That, I believe, is why we are here. Both sides have to be able to say, I want to understand. I will give you the benefit of the doubt. That's the hard part. So, Samuel, I don't know if he's still here. I'm not sure, but I apologize one more time. But again, these are things that we say without meaning or intending to hurt or offend. And learning how to do
I
that.
am here, but I believe in Jesus. What I'm saying,
I get it,
Jesus,
Samuel. We're trying the best we can
Jesus,
here.
the key
Henry,
word.
I think we need to get rid of
Jesus is
him because he's
the
a
way.
Zoom bomber.
Yeah, so Samuel, we may no longer be able to keep you on here.
No, but I'm saying I want to stay on here.
I understand that, Samuel, but you won't have to. If you continue to interrupt, we will not let you. We can't let you stay.
Hey,
So,
everyone, I just removed him. So
okay,
let's
all
move
right.
on.
So sorry about that, folks. But look, this is part of anybody that's on stage. This is it. If you're a comedian that gets heckled, if you're on social media and you get trolls, this is the point of going on stage. This is the reason why it's so nerve wracking. This is why we open our meetings up to everyone and to YouTube. We want people to see us. And some of us may not see us the way we want. But the ability to say, I understand, I empathize, and I meant no offense, that's the way you become a presence on camera and in person. So I view this as a fortuitous thing for me. My guess is it will not be the last time because we're on stage to YouTube. So, Samuel, again, I apologize. I wish him well, and maybe we can have him back at some future date, and who knows? But we're all here for this very reason, right? To confront this, to be able to handle these situations. So, Sabrina, I apologize to you as well. We got unfortunately got interrupted there, sidetracked, but how coincidental and apropos that this is about an icebreaker where we were talking about you don't know what you're going to get. You have no idea, and that's why this is ice. So, with that said, let's get your speech underway. You have 4 minutes on the clock. I'll let you take it away. And give the name of your speech one more time again, please.
Name of my speech is "If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much." We'll
If you,
explain.
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
It's called "If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much,"
If you
and I
ain't
will explain that.
Dutch, you ain't much. Okay, well, I ain't Dutch, so I guess I'm not much. But I'll let you take it away. It's all yours, Sabrina.
Thank you. Hi, members. Hi, guests. I'm Sabrina. I am a third year student at Parsons School of Design here at the New School. And I am breaking the ice with you all today by telling you an important part of my identity that I don't think a lot of you know about me. And that is that I am half African American and half Dutch. And I will be talking about the Dutch portion of my identity today. To give you some background, my parents met in Milan. My mother is African American and my dad is Dutch. And my dad was in Milan because he couldn't find work in the Netherlands and he wanted to be a physical therapist. So he came to Milan to do that. My mother had just graduated from Georgetown University and joined the Foreign Service, and they sent her to Milan. They were both in Milan. My mom's knee started hurting. She needed some PT, came to my dad. They met and they got married. Well, it actually didn't happen that fast, but they dated for 4 years. And then my dad moved to the States with my mom to come here to Washington, D.C., got married, and had my brother and I a couple years later. It was really important for my dad to instill the Dutch language in me and my brother as we grew up, especially because it would be important that we communicated with our family back home for him in the Netherlands. So my brother and I indeed grew up speaking both English and Dutch. And when we reached the age of around 7 or 8, my dad thought it would be a good idea to enroll us in a Dutch school on Saturday mornings from 8 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning. That's right, school on the weekend. Not a great idea, in my personal opinion, for 8-year-old kids who just want to go to slumber parties on Friday nights with their friends and not stay home and study for school the next morning. I will never forget this one week. I was around 11 or 12 at this point. My best friend was having a slumber party, and anyone who was anyone was going to be there. And I would have been there too, but it happened to be on a Friday night. And as you guys know, I had to stay home and study for Dutch school the next morning. And I remember sitting at home studying and crying to my dad. Why can I not just skip one Dutch lesson? It's not even that important. Why do I have to learn Dutch? I already know it. The list goes on. Well, now a couple years later, or more than a couple years later, um, I understand a value that I didn't really get before. I ended up obviously going to Dutch school that day. It wasn't that fun. I never really enjoyed it. But now that I'm out on the other side as a 20-year-old and not a 12-year-old, I'm so grateful for the discipline, number one, that instilled in me at such a young age, but also just knowing the Dutch language is such a wonderful thing that I now appreciate. I'm so lucky to be able to read, write, and speak Dutch comfortably. It's granted me so many friends that I never thought I would make, both within and outside the Dutch school. I met my boyfriend this way as well. So it all worked out well for me, apparently. And I now value my Dutch identity as just something I'm really proud of. And I never thought I would say that. And as my dad always says, if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. And now that's becoming something that I'm starting to actually agree with. So thank you, everyone. And I'll turn it back to the Toastmasters.
Woohoo! Sabrina, that was fantastic. Congratulations on your icebreaker.
Thank you very much.
So, as we talked about earlier, we're going to do a breakdown of your speech next week if you can make it. We're going to watch you watch your video. But a couple quick questions for you. How much time did you spend preparing?
I think like an hour ish.
Okay. Was that a story you kind of told before?
I never told it before, no, but I took
Okay.
about an hour to outline it for myself.
You have a very natural, comfortable way of speaking about you. We've talked about this before. And the fact that after about an hour and just thinking through it, you got to that kind of pacing and tone and demeanor says a lot about just where you're at in your speaking abilities. Um, I'm so excited to have you here as a member of our club. I can't wait to hear your future speeches. You have all the ability to be one of the more powerful, inspiring people we have in terms of just being able to get people to stand up and speak and hear their voice and all those things that you're already doing. And you're doing it by example. So, thumbs up, my commendations of that speech, incredible. I'll let the folks in the audience now give you their feedback in the audience evaluation form. So if you guys go to the chat, you'll see the link there. It's the speaker evaluation section that you want to now fill out. And we'll put 2 minutes on the clock for Sabrina. And I think we're going to listen to some Jay-Z and some of my favorite music uh, for 2 minutes. So let's put that on the clock and let your evaluation start. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Yes, that's right. A New York State of Mind. We are live streaming, as we talked about, here from New York. For those of you who are with us here in New York, um, we're in the pandemic together. Hopefully, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So stick with us, New Yorkers. But for those of you who are from around the world and joining us, we want to welcome you. And we want to welcome our guests. So we're going to now do some guest introductions for the evening. And that allows me to turn it over to Kylie, who was our president, and she'll do some introductions for our guests who are visiting for the first time. Take it away, Kylie.
Yeah, thanks for that, Henry. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. It's great to see such a good crowd here today. Chavaun is like moving all over the place, dancing. She's so excited. Hi, Chavaun. Hopefully you all are, unlike me, I need to pin my screen right now. Hopefully for especially you new members, please do pin the live stream box on your screen. That's where we get this great background we have that Henry's developed for us. And welcome to guests. We're excited to get to know you a little bit more. Before I go into guest introductions, I just want to say a big congratulations to Sabrina for her wonderful icebreaker. I always so enjoy hearing people's origin stories, and just to hear your story about your parents was so moving. And I want everyone to know, as well as being a public speaker, Sabrina is newly on our student leadership team for this club. So we're thrilled to welcome her as part of that. We cannot be a club without the new school, without our students, and especially not without our new school student leadership team, of which Maya and Asante, who are also here tonight, are on. So welcome, Sabrina. We're thrilled to have you. I am excited to get to know you more, and congratulations on your first speech. All right, with that, I want to get right into a guest introduction so we can move on to table topics. But for guests tonight, what I'll have you do as I call your name, just come off mute and on camera. We would like to see your face, so do come on camera. We are a public speaking group, so part of that is getting comfortable on camera, turning your camera on, and addressing us. So just come on camera, say a little hello, tell us how you heard about this club, your name, and where you're from. So I'm going to get this started off with Kylie, it looks like. Kylie, would you kindly come on screen for us here? We'll get you up on screen in a second, and just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you heard about this meeting tonight.
I am Kylie. I'm from Texas, but I'm living in New York now with my boyfriend. I heard about this through him. He was a member whenever you could still go in person, and he had a lot of great things to say. And I am pursuing a degree in paralegal studies, so I feel that this would be a wonderful way for me to get started being comfortable in a group setting.
That's great. Thanks for that introduction, Kylie. What's the name of your boyfriend who's been to our meetings before? I'm curious.
Bernardo Vanterpool. He's a guest tonight.
I gotcha.
So,
we got a 2-for-1 deal here. Great.
Yes.
It's great to meet you both. And you're calling from Texas, you said? Or you're
No, I'm in New York now. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And my name often gets mispronounced as Kylie. So when I saw your name, I was like,
is
Kylie?
yes, I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Kaylee, but no.
Get that all the time.
Yeah.
All right. It's great to meet you. Thanks, Kylie. I have a feeling Bernardo is also probably on our list here. Let's see who's up next. Yep, it's Bernardo, the famous Bernardo. Let's bring him on and say hello. Bernardo Vanterpool, are you also in New York? Oh, we may have you on mute there, Bernardo.
Oh, I just said hello, everyone. And we're not in New York, actually. We're in New Jersey.
Okay.
But I know you guys are a New York-based club, but I prefer the Toastmasters in New York, and I saw you guys had a meeting today, so I decided to join, and I said, hey, Kylie, why don't you get on the meeting, since I know you're trying to work on your public speaking skills, and, you know, it keeps you lax.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. I love that you're doing this together. Did you attend our in-person meetings at the new school previously?
I did not. No, I had not.
Okay, well, great. Well, we're happy you heard about us. Yeah, well, you know, New Jersey folks are also welcome. We are open to all, so it's great to have you both. And hopefully you can get on our table topics list, if not tonight, next week. I think you did sign up for table topics, didn't you?
Yes, I think I did.
Excellent.
I did.
That's what we want. We want people to jump right into that. Well, it's great to meet you. Thanks for being here. And I will, oh, Sean says, yep, you're number 8. Next up is the Reverend Dr. AlyceAnn. AlyceAnn, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Would you come on screen here and we'll say hello to you? I believe you found us through Facebook, right? It's okay. We may have you on mute there. I do that 20 times a day. We might still have you on mute, but we'll get you here pretty soon.
Can you hear me now?
We can. Hi, is it AlyceAnn?
Yep, it's AlyceAnn.
Well, welcome. It's great to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you find yourself at this meeting tonight?
Well, as you stated, I did find you on Facebook. It's perfect timing for me. I live in Chicago. So it was a great time for me to come to a meeting on a Friday evening. So I'm here as a guest and visitor because I saw you on Facebook.
That's great. We love to be known by Facebook. Have you ever been to a Toastmasters meeting before?
Yes, I have.
Wonderful. Are you a member elsewhere or just kind of shopping around and hopping to different groups right now?
Actually, I belong to 25 clubs.
Oh, okay. Maybe we could be number 26 for you, huh? That's impressive.
So
25 clubs. How often do you speak at a Toastmasters group? Is it every day you're going?
every day, every single day, I finish all 11 paths because I speak every day.
Wow. Well, wow. AlyceAnn, I really look up to you. We're going to seem like small potatoes compared to all the work you've done at Toastmasters. That is awesome. Congratulations. What's your favorite pathway?
Motivation strategy.
Okay. Very interesting. So we use the competent communicator manual still here. We haven't really transferred over to pathways. So I'm always interested to hear what people say about that. Well, welcome. Hopefully we can hear from you during table topics. And I'm from Michigan originally, so fellow Midwesterner, I love to welcome other folks from the Midwest. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, AlyceAnn.
Thank you.
Next up is Paige. Paige, if you'd come on camera and off mute so we can welcome you. Hi.
I'm here.
How are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you hear about this meeting and where are you?
Hi. Wow. I'm Paige Gugino and I'm from Los Angeles, California. And I heard about this through Sean, and we are both a part of the McGuire program. I'm also a person that stutters. So that's a fun fact about myself.
Well, welcome, Paige.
Thank
Sean is
you.
one of our oldest and most dear members. And so we're happy to welcome you. It takes a lot of courage to get up and do this. So I'm really happy to see you here. We'd love to tell you more about our club. And of course, you're welcome to speak during table topics or whenever else you would like. Where did you say you're calling in from?
Los Angeles, California.
Oh, lucky girl. I wish I was there. How warm is it there right now?
It's like 70 degrees, so it's pretty nice. I'm pretty lucky out here.
Yep, I'm feeling like I would not mind visiting you right now. We're cold in New York, but it's great to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paige. Next up is Sebastian. Sebastian, can we have you on camera?
Yep.
How you doing?
Fine. Actually, oh yeah, it needs to be in. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I see you now. How are you?
Yes, I'm visiting from England, actually. I've been doing Toastmasters since 2013. My clubs are down in the southwest of England in Bristol, and there's a Bath club for Isle City. We have an area contest tomorrow, which people could come along to if you want to see what we do in the UK. And any more questions? Or how did I get here and things like that?
How'd you hear about our club? Yeah, we'd love to know how you found us.
David, he's on David Drebsky, who has been to lots and lots of clubs, and I was on the club in Sweden about 4 weeks ago because I'm half Swedish as well. Actually, I can speak Swedish as well.
Oh wow!
And I came across him there, and it was like, let's go and you can be on this mailing list and follow the international president around if you want, and go to these meetings. So I've been to a few of those as well, like in Malta, and because he's going to all 140 countries with Toastmasters clubs, one club per country, and I'm just doing Zoom traveling now because we're in our third lockdown here. Our vaccine rollout is going quite well, so they say, but we're still in lockdown, and it's like, what can we do then? Oh, let's do Zoom traveling and Toastmasters online because we've been doing it for our normal clubs anyway.
Very cool.
So yeah, here I am.
Well, we're so happy to have you. Thank you. It's great that David brought you along. And I love that you are globe hopping. Like that has been one of the coolest things for us to be able to welcome folks from different countries around the world and hear updates and hear how you're doing there. So it's great to meet you. Hopefully we can hear from you more later. Sign up for table topics. And thanks so much.
Yeah, I think I was down for a table topic. I'm up for that, definitely.
You can check that out for you as well. Yep. Thanks, Sebastian. Tom, we'll bring you on screen here and say hello. This is great. It's great to have so many guests tonight. Thank you for being here. It's great to get to know you all a little bit. Tom, if you can get yourself on camera, we should see you on screen here in just a second. Let us know where you're calling in from.
I think I saw a message that he had to leave early, I believe.
Oh, okay. So Tom's not here. All right, no worries. Well, thank you, guests. It's always great to get to know some folks from around the world. You're very welcome. We're going to get into the table topics portion of the evening now. Hopefully we can hear from some of you as well. And you're always welcome to stay after meetings as well. If you have any questions for us, let us know then or let us know in the chat. Henry, I'll kick it back to you so we can get table topics started.
Thanks for that, Kaylee. And that's just always amazing to me. Yeah, this pandemic kind of sucks. It's horrible. But the fact that we can see people and meet people across the world via Zoom now, it really is a remarkable thing. And so for you guys that are not in New York, welcome to New York. Paige in LA, I wish I were in the warm, sunny weather with you as well. But in the meantime, glad you all can make it with us here. And it's time to turn it over to you guys for the show, which is Table Topics. And we're going to introduce here Rob in a second. But can we get our Table Topics agenda or list on the screen? Let me just see how many people we have. Oh, it's a full list. All right. That means that I'm going to turn it right over to Rob to let him get started and share the theme and the word of the day. Rob, good to see you. How are you?
Hey, Henry, good to see you too.
Welcome to Table Topics. You're an old pro at this, so I don't need to explain anything to you. So we'll go ahead and turn it right to you and take over for our table topic as our table topic master for the evening. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Henry. And I have a question for you all before we jump in. What is real anymore? I was thinking about New York State of Mind when we heard Sabrina's song, and I think I have to say that we really don't know what's real anymore these days. We are living in these virtual environments, and that's what the table topic is about today. And how do we know what's real? It's by using our senses, our sense of taste, our sense of smell, our sense of touch, our sense of sight, and to me, that's when you engage in a story with senses, that's how people really connect and really are able to put themselves in your shoes or whoever's telling a story. And unfortunately, with this virtual world, we're really only playing with two senses most of the time. We don't have smell-o-vision yet, so you're not able to really have that aspect. And we have a little bit of vision, even though it cuts out, and audio, whether you're on mute or not, that's subjective as well. So our table topics today is to share a sensory story. So you have 2 minutes to do that. And the goal is really to try to get people to think and use their sense of smell to trigger that, like the way if you were smelling lavender, you would have that feeling of, restfulness and wanting to relax. Or if you heard some fingers on a chalkboard, you would know that sound is so jarring. So sense of taste, whether you're eating vinegar chips. So really try to, in each of your table topics, bring in senses. And if you could do all 5, kudos to you. And the word of the day is psychedelic. I don't know if you can hear my Jimi Hendrix, but so if you guys could use the word psychedelic in your table topic, you'll get the Homer pop up. And I'll kick it over to the first table topic speaker of the night. And this is going to be a great episode. I'm just so excited to step out of my reality and have a really psychedelic experience with you. So who do we have first up tonight? Chavaun, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good to
And this
see you.
is
I love your energy.
likewise. Thank you. Thank you. And this is based on the movie that the question as far as the movie, which
No, but I
movie?
think it's related. I think the question's really just to share a story, and I think movies are such a great tool to have a story and really connect. So
Absolutely.
I saw a wonderful movie recently, The Sound of Metal, about a heavy metal drummer that loses his hearing, and the movie is so incredible because it goes into like how he's able to hear and then not able to hear and kind of the in between, and it's such an audio centric movie that I was like, gosh, that's so cool to play with senses in such a visual format. So if you
Awesome.
want it to be about movies, take it away.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and happy Friday. So, I'm not a really big movie person. So, if you took me on a show, you probably would not want me to be on your team. So, let's just start there. But I do have a favorite movie of all time. It's called Something's Gotta Give, and it's starring Diane Keaton, which is my top favorite, and Jack Nicholson. And what I love about that, well, first of all, the movie is about two people in their late 50s and 60s who end up falling in love despite their challenges. And what I love most about this movie is that the writer was very intentional when she wrote the movie. So, from the beautiful places, the locations that they filmed the movie in, for an example, the living room space, just the colors were so beautiful, calm, and serene. It was also shot inside of a beautiful beach house as well. So for me, when watching it, it just takes me to a different place and space. The way they were dressed, the places that they ate, the French music was just amazing. And I think that's one of my main reasons why I really love that movie is because of the music takes you to a whole different world. And so the soundtrack is full of French artists. And I watch this movie a lot because, especially when I'm feeling really down, it's really hard for you to feel down and when you listen to that soundtrack, you're in a sappy mood. So if you haven't seen that, something's got to give. I really encourage you. I'm also promoting it also, but I really encourage you to really take a peek at it, and because you'll really enjoy it. But it's a great movie, and that's it. I really enjoyed
That was great, Chavaun. Thank you. Oh, I need to see that movie again. It's been too long.
It's on Netflix. Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay, good, good. Now I have something to do this weekend.
Yes. So again, it's Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson. It is amazing. It's so awesome. The
It's a
music,
classic.
everything. Scenery is beautiful. Takes you to a whole different world.
Well, thank you so much. That was a wonderful table topic.
Thank you.
And I do think that movie will really transport you. Up next, we have Sean. Sean, are you there? And really, we don't have to use, it doesn't have to be movie related.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Sean, how are you? There you are.
Oh my God, are you serious?
It can. You just have to share a story and have it be share a sensory story. And you did that, Chavaun. You brought the senses into it. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
So really, it's kind of a choose your own adventure table topic, but it has to be very sense filled. So Sean, I know this is going to be a really exciting one. So I'll let you take it away.
Sean DePaul speaking. So I'm a few years removed from graduating college. And when I was in school, I skipped over the whole psychedelic phase. But a few years ago, I really had an out of body experience, even though I was using all 5 senses. And as you heard Paige say before, we're both people who work on our speech every single day. And on this particular day, back in 2015, it was during the fall. I was walking through Union Square Park, right next to where we usually meet in person, and walking through the park, and I see these two people sitting on a bench minding their own business. And as a person who stutters, I've come to realize that I need to interrupt that sort of thing and work on my speech. So I walk up to these two unassuming women sitting on the bench, and using my best technique, I say, "Hi, my name is Sean. I'm a person who stutters, and I'm working on my speech." Rob and everyone on the call, I can tell you that my heart was palpitating. I was talking to two people when I could have gotten away with only speaking to one. That was one of the first times that I really pushed myself as a person who stutters to really go out of my comfort zone and really try to do something that I didn't think I could have done before in the past. At the end of our little conversation, one of the girls turns to me and says, "That was one of the bravest things I've ever seen." And ever since then, I'm all about interrupting people to tell them that I'm a person who stutters. Thank you.
So good. I think one day we should just have Sean do table topics, just fill up all the slots, and just like go for like a full hour.
Make sure you're here on Friday then, Rob.
I know you're hosting, so it's going to be a good one. That was a lovely story, and I haven't heard that one, and I think it's so nice how you brought in the sensory experience, walking through Union Square, people sitting on the bench. I really felt engaged in a sensory way, and just your personal strength and courage in your stories, but just you in general, Sean. You're always an inspiration to all of us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I could tell already we're only 2 speeches in, and it's a good episode. You guys ready for this? Next up, we have Jorge. Jorge, where are you at? Oh, there he is. And Jorge, I'm feeling like I'm getting a cedar smell from your like log cabin backdrop. Is that true?
Yes, that's right.
So the word of the day is psychedelic. However you want to mix that in, go for it, and share a sensory story with us. I'll let you take it away.
Hello everyone, top members, guests, YouTube, live, 100 years from now, aliens in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. When I heard the question, actually, I don't know what the question is. I just realized that when I signed up for table topics, I didn't look at the question. And then I was trying to go back and look at it. And I was like, no, stop. I want to, be, spontaneous, like on spot. So I don't know what the question is, but I know it's something related about a sense, like your sense of smell. And something came to mind. And I have 3 little friends that I keep on my desk all the time. These are essential oils. One of them is to wake me up. The other one is to give me energy, and the other one is to help me with my mood. Because usually I used to be what do you call, not sad, but in a bad mood all the time before. And going back to the movies, since I have 30 more seconds and I don't have anything else to say about essential oils, my favorite movie is Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. I love Leonardo DiCaprio. It was Titanic, the first movie that I saw as a 10-year-old, I think. And it was so good that I fell in love with him. And for that reason, Inception is my favorite movie. Anyway, thank you for your attention, and back to you, Rob.
And Jorge didn't say psychedelic, but Inception is a very psychedelic movie with the buildings folding in on themselves. So I think we're going to give him the word of the day.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Thanks.
It's a very good movie. I love that one. It's very sensory. So thank you so much, Jorge. Next up, we have Rajiv. Oh, this is going to be good. You guys, it's just nonstop. Number 4, we have Rajiv. Can you get it up here?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, and Rajiv, I'm feeling some wind in your Lamborghini there. So I think we...
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Rented it just for the show.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure we'll be smelling some rubber at the end of your speech. So take it away, Rajiv.
Alexa, stop. Okay. Alexa is always listening into everything that I say. It's very annoying. Okay, but I digress. Timer, please don't stop timing me. I haven't started yet. Okay. Usually topics like sensory experiences are very challenging to me because they push me outside of my comfort zone. It just so happens that a few minutes before it was my turn to speak, my girlfriend gave this awesome broth or soup that she prepared for me. And what better topic to talk about sensory experiences than this extremely hot concoction in this amazing large glass that you can see. It's got J for joy. Um, this is just to describe this. This is a dark, clear soup. It has a lot of aroma and spice. I don't know if you can notice, but there is some steam coming out. I don't know if it's visible on the camera or not, but trust me, it's extremely hot. So hot that I am very cautiously putting it to my lips and back again so it doesn't um, spill and burn my very dainty fingers. Uh, but what I have to say the word of the day, psychedelic. How can I participate in this without saying such a psychedelic word as psychedelic? And I'm hoping Rob's going to do something psychedelic when I say this so many times. Yes, but this is truly an exceptional experience. And I hope that, thank you, Rob. I knew that he would do something amazing. I hope that everyone has a chance to have something hot. It is the perfect recipe for when it gets a little bit cold. It's not too cold right now in New York. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, but when it does, we're expecting it to get about 33 later today. So when it does, have a hot soup, either make it yourself or have somebody do it for you and enjoy it and enjoy the aroma, the flavor, the warmth, the love, and think good thoughts. And watch the movie that Chavaun suggested. I'm sure it's great. It's got great actors. And I hope this message resonated with someone. And back to you, Table Topics Master.
Oh, Rajiv. So good. So at first, I was a little concerned. I thought you might be sick, drinking soup, warming up. But I guess it was just to deal with the temperature. But I kind of think that might be a bit of a psychedelic soup you have there because it started getting a little trippy at the end. Thanks so much, Rajiv. That was fun. It was
Thanks,
very
Rob.
sensory. I don't know why you feel like that's out of your comfort zone. I think you brought us great exact couple. All right. Next up, we have oh, my screen's blurry, but I think it says Anthony. There we go. Hey, Anthony, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Great.
How are you doing?
Good. And you?
Doing really well. I'm excited to hear your table topics. You ready to jump into it?
Yes, as ready as I can be.
All right, we'll share a sensory story, and the word of the day is psychedelic, and I'll let you take it away.
Great. Hello, everyone. In addition to what Rajiv said, in terms of the sensory, I'm actually from New York City, and one of my things that I like to do is actually make myself a nice cup of tea in the afternoon. Drink moringa, nice and warm. The other evening, I actually made my first time my chicken noodle soup, which came out to be delicious. Added spices such as sage, thyme, celery, carrots, onions, garlic. It was to die for. And I do have to say, as being a native New Yorker, that's one of the great things, the great privilege that I have here, because this is obviously a melting pot of different variety of foods. My favorite food is Thai food, Indian food. The moment I step into the restaurant, uh, getting the sense, the smell, and just thinking of the fact of getting the first bite into my mouth, how invigorating that is. Um, yeah, with pad thai, uh, you have the samosas, you have the, the trying to think of the chicken vindaloo. There's a few dishes that we have. So, and yes, that's the great thing, and that's what I have to say about the century is with the smell and the taste. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. That was great, but I have to say I'm a little upset because you and Rajiv are reminding me of the fact that I had a really early lunch and I'm starting to hear my stomach grumble. But yeah, New York, it's definitely the place to be for food, and hopefully we could start going out to restaurants again very soon.
Amen.
All right, thanks so much, Anthony. Good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Trey. Trey, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I know Trey's not going to talk about food. He's going to go into something very deep. I can't see you though, Trey.
Oh no.
There you are.
Excellent.
All right. Share your sensory story, and the word of the day is psychedelic. I'll let you take it away.
Hello, everybody. There are so many memories that I am thinking of that I would love to share, but if I'm going to use the word psychedelic, then I don't know how family friendly the show is, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that I had some candy once that that unlocked some memories that I didn't even remember that I had. And some of these memories include, and my sister's here, so she might also share some of these memories, but road trips with the family all the way down to Florida. So my father was really big on driving us down there as opposed to flying the family down. And I don't know about you all, but there are certain songs and smells and tastes that really take me back. So, for example, when I hear about, well, when I smell actually rain, for example, like a fresh, good, clean rain, it reminds me of rain down in Florida. Or certain songs that come on that just hit those right jazz notes remind me of my dad playing the radio while we were driving down. Some of the tastes remind me of the Cracker Barrel restaurant that we used to stop by on the way driving down. And it's just so powerful that the experience of smell and taste and just seeing things that just take you back. It's just almost like a form of time travel that I just appreciate so much. So thank you, Master Table Topic.
I knew it. Woohoo! Crushing it. It's so good. It's so true. The time machine, that sensory thing. My wife found this scratch and sniff book the other day, like on the street in our neighborhood. And she showed it to me. It's this Bambi one. And I was like, oh my God, I had that book when I was like a baby. Let me see that. And it's from like 1975. And I scratched, the like rose smell, the like tree bark smell, and it still worked. And it just took me back to like that, like being little and a kid, like just instantly. It's so crazy. But yeah, road trips, there's always a lot of good memories there. So thank you so much, Trey. That was so good.
Thank you, Rob.
Oh, yes. You guys, I knew this was going to be fun. Next up, we have Kylie. Kylie, are you there?
Oh, hi. Yes.
Hey,
So,
welcome.
how's it going? Thank you.
Good. I'm glad that you're here and just jumping straight into the table topics. How's like your first time?
Yes, I am excited to be here. I was put on the spot, but I think I work best in those situations. So I'm going to test myself here.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So
I was misled in my what I thought was the table topic discussion, but I'm going to stick with it.
Okay. Well,
If that's okay.
really, it's just about sharing a story. And if you could bring a sensory flair to it, I think that would help. And the word of the day is psychedelic. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Well, I saw my table topic discussion as Dora the Explorer. And immediately I got excited because that's what I used to watch every morning before I went to school, eating breakfast on the couch when my mom was, putting the dishes away, cleaning up, and she was saying, "Hey, tie your shoes so we can get ready." And it was like 6:30 in the morning. Who wants to be awake that early? So I was a little groggy, trying to just like taste my candy covered, animal crackers for breakfast because that's what 5-year-olds eat in the morning. And Dora the Explorer was always on. And so I was sitting there watching someone who I thought was cute, she had like dark hair, and she was exploring in the jungles, with animals and the rainforests. And I could just imagine the first time you step in a rainforest, you don't know whether you hear the rain or see it first because there's so many layers. It has like the floor, and it has the terrain or something, and then the canopy, which always seemed like it would be my favorite because it's at the top, gets the most sunlight. But you're on the ground, and the dirt is like soft and it smells nice, damp, but it's comfortable, probably a little warm. And then you hear the birds and you hear the water on the trees falling, and you just want to explore. And so I thought it would be really cool for me to do that. So in the mornings, that's what I did before school. And that's all I have for today. I didn't hit psychedelic, but
no, but you hit 2 minutes right on the nose. So that was very impressive.
Thank you.
Very impressive. And thanks so much for jumping in and being a guest. We're always happy to have you and welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And Dora the Explorer, my daughter is 7, and yeah, that's definitely a part of our universe. All right, next up we have Bernard. Bernard, are you there? Or Bernardo, sorry.
Yes, I am Bernardo and I'm here. Hey, Rob.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain.
So I'm excited to hear you share your sensory story, and the word of the day is psychedelic, and I'll let you take it away.
All right, thank you, Rob. Hello, everyone. So growing up, I grew up playing video games. You know, I had the Game Boy SD, I had the Game Boy Color, I had Xbox, GameCube, and considering that in order to play video games, you have to have a very strong sensory mind, in my opinion, to really grasp and immerse yourself in video games. Playing video games growing up felt like a psychedelic experience. And why do I say that? Well, my favorite game to play was Pokemon. And when I would play Pokemon, I just felt like it was me and these were all of my pets. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to have any pets, but Pokemon fulfilled that need for me. Since I wasn't able to have my pets and learn how to train a pet, when I played Pokemon, I was able to acquire Pokemons, which allowed me to, in my mind, train a pet. So why do I begin with this? Well, recently I decided to get myself a pet. And when I saw this animal, this pet, he's a dog, it brought me back to these days when I was younger. So I don't know if you can see my screen, but this is what my pet looks like. And this is my pet here. So as you can see, this is a very, very soft pet. And his hair is so soft. I don't know if you went out to play recently when it was snowing. And if you did, try not to picture touching the snow and feeling cold. Try to just picture the snow lightly brushing against the palm of your hand. And that's how it feels whenever I pet my pet here. And that is all. Thank you, folks.
Bernardo, that was great. What's your dog's name?
Oh, this is Luther.
Luther. Oh, he's a cutie. Hey, Luther.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, I can imagine how soft he is, and that was very sensory. So thank you so much. And I hope you come back again too. It's great to have you. And
Of course, man. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, you're a fantastic speaker, and we'd love to have you come back as well. So thank you. Oh, I wish I had a dog sometimes. All right, next up we have, it's a little blurry. I think it says Ivy. Am I right? Ivy, hey. Oh, how are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you. So I'm excited to have you share a sensory story. The word of the day is psychedelic, and I'll let you take it away.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Ivy, and this is my first table topic speech. My heart is pounding right now, but I'm really excited to share my sensory story. So I'm going to talk about my favorite food. It's a traditional Chinese home-cooked eggplant noodle dish. I love it not only because it's the perfect amount of seasoning, it's salty, it's creamy, but also because it tastes like a warm and cozy hug. It was actually the last meal that my mom cooked for me right before I was heading to the airport for my 13-hour flight back to New York in 2019. But the night before, my mom and I had a huge fight. So I was extremely nervous to face her in the morning, especially because I knew that I wasn't going to see her for a while. And whenever things like this would happen between her and I, she would always alleviate the tension by making me a yummy home cooked dish, whether it's a fruit bowl or an actual dish, instead of communicating with me verbally. And for this one in particular, it's simple, but it's so special because the recipe has been passed down for 5 generations. So I think it's my great great grandmother, if I'm correct. So even though I still associate the eggplant, or honestly any eggplant dish, with that awkward morning with my mom, it's special to me because it reminds me of home, and it it tells me that's how she communicates and expresses her tough love. Thank you.
That was incredible. For your first table topic, you hit it out of the park. That was, not only did I get hungry again, but
Yeah,
it was
I'm
so
sorry.
touching. No, but it was so touching how you really made that correlation between food and family, and I think sometimes we think of senses as just this really 2D element, but there's so much attached to senses, and I think food is a way of communication, and it's so
Yeah, I
true.
wish it was more, the noodles were more of a psychedelic experience, but unfortunately, I didn't get a psychedelic experience.
Well, we'll count that. That's Well, I hope you do more table topics. I'm so proud of you. That was amazing. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is good. This, not only am I starving right now, but I am like so blown away by all these amazing table topics. And next up, we have Sebastian. There we go. Hey, Sebastian.
Oh,
What time is it over there?
yes, I'm here as well. Getting late here, but anyway, so yes, table topic, let's do it.
All right, you're a trooper. Thanks for staying up. The table topic is to share a sensory story, and the word of the day is psychedelic. So I'll let you take it away, Sebastian.
Right, so we went to Egypt in October 2005. My first time outside of Europe, actually. I've done Florida as well in August 2008. But we had to sit on this plane for 5 hours with horrible leg room. Worse than going to Florida. That's a longer flight, in fact, from England. And we arrived in Egypt, and it's like, first thing you notice is like, where are the Egyptian women? And you realise that men do basically everything here. So we got to the hotel, and it was nice. And I remember going to this bar, and it's like, you gotta have this drink. You gotta try this drink. No, not alcohol, something else. And it was like, okay. And it's like a fruit drink or something, and we try it, and it's lovely. It's green, and I've been thinking at times, what was that drink? It was so nice. What was that local drink we had over there? And I just remember picking up the glass, and you try this drink out, and you're like, oh, this is lovely. That was 16 years ago, and I can't remember what it is now. And I've been thinking maybe I should ask someone what we had over there. But we made it back. We made it out of Egypt, even though we tried these drinks and things, even though we had to actually go back in a car with bullet holes. I remember that as well. That would have failed here. It would be like, can't drive that on the road. And this drink, it just comes to mind. What was it? I can't remember, but it must have been very psychedelic, or maybe not enough, because we got back to the airport, didn't we, at the end of the day? I want to know what that drink was, and I can't remember. But it was so lovely, and I'm gonna have to ask maybe my dad, who was on this trip. He might just remember. And I would say Sharm el Sheikh is a great place to go to. It is a tourist part, but it's good for snorkelers and scuba diving. Back to you, table topics master.
you, Sebastian. You helped get me out of my apartment and on an adventure to Egypt. And I am so curious. That drink sounded amazing. What was in it? Like, what were the ingredients?
I had some sort
green?
of fruit drink. Like I said, like I can't remember, but
It was
I
just
looking
green
at it, so I was
flavored.
like, what was it? Because we don't have it over here.
All right. Well, if I go to Egypt, I'll ask for some green, non-alcoholic juice.
Yeah.
That's somewhat psychedelic. Well, I hope you come back, Sebastian. It was great having you. Thank you. And who else do we have here? David. David, could you jump on?
Yep. I'm right here.
All right. Hey, David. Welcome. It's always good to have you. I'm excited to hear your sensory story. Are you ready to take it away?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Okay. Everyone talks about missing the movies and eating out during the COVID-19 pandemic. But for me, it is all about amusement parks and carnivals. Oh boy, do I love the sound of the rushing of a roller coaster on its tracks. You hear people screaming as they wave their arms, or hearing the music from the games as you take a stroll on the boardwalk. And the touch of cotton candy in my mouth slowly melting, and the feeling of the wind in your face as you're sitting on a rotating Ferris wheel. I'm a big fan of the smells, the corn dogs and fried pickles from the concession stands. And of course, the sights, those bright lights at night taking on almost a psychedelic aura as you are blinded by this ocean of colors that just bombard you. And the familiar nostalgia of carnival workers dressed perhaps in striped shirts, maybe with straw hats, harkening back to yesteryear. The taste of fudge, one of my favorite things to get. And also on a hot summer's day, of your own sweat as it cascades down your face. These are just some of the memories I have of just walking around carnivals and amusement parks during the summer here in New York or New Jersey that I miss and long for once again. Back to you.
You didn't hesitate to bring in food into the equation, did you?
Oh, of course not. That's the best part.
You know how hungry I am. What's wrong with you?
Sorry, Rob. Sorry. But, unfortunately, I'm hungry too, and it's on my mind, man.
Oh, that was lovely. Thanks so much, David. Okay, who do we have next? You know what? So many people are donating money to us that I'm so grateful, but I can't make out who the next person is. Keep the money flowing, though. That's fine.
It's AlyceAnn, Rob.
Alice. Are you out there? You want to jump on screen?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How do I do that?
There we go. We'll take care. I think Kylie and Henry are working their magic.
Sound like a plan.
All right.
Sound like a plan.
Do you have
Ready for me to start?
Well, we still can't see you, so maybe we could wait a sec. Do you have is your camera on?
Yep, I'm waving.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Rob, it may be a connection issue on some Wi-Fi issue, so we may just have to do an audio-only table topic.
Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. Okay. You ready to jump in and do a podcast version, Alice?
I am.
All right. Share a sensory story And I'll let you take it away. The word of the day is psychedelic. Thank you.
There's nothing psychedelic about my story. Well, come with me. A couple of years ago, I was walking on the beach. Had my shoes in my hand. I could feel the ambiance, the hot sun in between, in the sand on my toes. And all of a sudden, I heard, "Help!" I stopped, looked all around, could not see anything. Nothing seemed to be disturbed. I stood perfectly still. And I heard it again. "Help!" I finally spotted him. I saw him. I took off running. I can hear him yelling help. I can hear the water crashing against the stones, the rocks, and I can almost taste the salt from the sea, and it smelled kind of weird, but I didn't care. I wanted to get to him, and I swam as fast as I could to get to him, and then just when I got to him, he went under. Oh my goodness, I had to move the water around just so I could see him because I went in after him. I found him. I was so happy. I grabbed him close. I shot back up like a rocket, swam back to shore. He was not breathing. I was petrified. I put my hand on his chest, did heart compressing, still nothing. I turned him over onto his side. I patted him on the back, nothing. I gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, nothing. And I was screaming, "Help, somebody help!" And it seemed like everybody disappeared. But then I heard him call.
We may have lost the connection, Rob.
Oh my gosh, but still knocked it out of the park. Like, we're talking about senses. Alice is using just one, just audio. And what a story with that cliffhanger ending.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I know. I'm like,
Can y'all
Alice,
hear me?
come back, finish. We need to know what happened. We're gonna let the clock go a little bit longer.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just keep going. We're gonna just.
Okay.
We're doing
Okay,
overtime.
good. I don't know where I left off, but I got him to shore. He wasn't breathing. I gave mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I did the hand compressing. Nothing happened. I began to scream, "Somebody help, somebody help." And then I heard a faint cough. I was the happiest woman in the world. And it took all of me, all of my senses, everything about every part of me to help save a drowning man. And that's my story.
Oh, that was wonderful. I'm so glad you came back, Alice. Just waiting to hear the ending. Oh my gosh, you guys, this was fantastic. Thank you to all of our guests that gave such wonderful table topics, and to all of our members and usual crew. It was such an amazing experience. Thank you for inspiring me with all your wonderful stories and table topics. And I'll throw it back over to Henry. Let you take it away.
Rob, that was amazing. Great job on table topics. Those were some amazing stories. Great job, everyone. I have to tell you, that may have been my favorite, best table topics of all of our meetings so far. Congratulations. And now it's time to do some votes. So, in that same meeting form, if you would, vote for your favorite table topic. It's a hard choice this week. And also give Rob some feedback, if you would, on his role as table topic master. And then for those of you who are members, just an FYI, we are working on some back end stuff. So these evaluations may take a little longer than usual to get put into the system. So just FYI. But for those of you who are guests and like what you see, feel free to join us as well. That form that you have, the meeting link, has all the information. For those of you who are members, once again, we appreciate any donations that you can provide us. There are some costs. Kylie, our president, spends so much time preparing for these meetings. She is so underappreciated in how important these meetings are to her and how much we need her. So give her a shout out. And if you have the ability, give a donation to the club. It helps us to keep this thing going. All right. Traditionally, we have our grammarian and timer. Again, we'll make some changes. So those things hopefully will come back shortly. So we don't have those. But what we've decided, as I said, is that we're going to emphasize the YouTube channel and your videos. So for those of you who spoke, once we get the live stream edited down, so it live streams and there's a bit of a delay, usually about 24 hours before it's back up on our channel. But once it's up on our channel, you'll be able to see your timestamp at the bottom. I highly recommend, urge, suggest you go watch those videos. I know it's not easy. Every time we go back and watch, all we're looking for are our mistakes, and we always have them. Little glitches, little things that don't happen the right way, audio cues. That's par for the course. That's why we're doing it live. But that's also how you get better. And so go watch your video, and I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it's going to get and the better it's going to be for you down the road. You're going to feel much more confident, feel much better about this as you get better and better and watch yourself. So that's our direction. We're going to really embrace the video. We're really going to embrace our YouTube channel. So go watch it. And as I say, give us a like and subscribe. That's where we're in. That's the business we're in now. So with that said, we're going to wrap up this episode. We have our masterclass edition coming up next, where we're going to do Zavika's speech, as I said, from last week. So anybody that has time, you're more than welcome to stick around. Masterclass is all about trying to give feedback to our speakers, as well as focusing more on the art of speaking. And I felt it tonight, right? The point of our meetings every week is about trying to feel more natural, more comfortable on screen. And so, Rob, as a table topic master tonight, you did a great job of making people feel comfortable, and you guys saw the results. When people get comfortable, these things are far more interesting, far more entertaining. So keep it up. Great job. All right, so stick around for masterclass if you would. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in 7 weeks for another episode. Thanks for coming.